What's up, family? Welcome to another episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you had a great week. Today, we are super excited. We are talking about OG status because a lot of people just don't know what that means. And on the grill, we're talking about favors. Why don't we have any more favors left? And you know, I love setting up every episode with a quote that lays the groundwork for a provocative and very interesting conversation. So here's the quote. I have learned more in these streets than in any classroom. Okay? And that comes from Sane's Point. And I think that just puts us right on track to talk, express, relate, connect with our special guest today. My man, Quon, is in the backyard. What's up, family?
Hey, what's up with it, baby? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm more excited than I could ever be, man, because you know I really was looking forward to talking to you because we need to set this OG status straight. We need to let them know what it means, what it looks like, and how it looks in hip hop. So we're going to have some fun with that. So let's kick it off. So what you been up to, Quon?
Man, I just been grinding these little singles I done dropped this past year. The most recent single, Go Get It, and right before that, OG Status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So working on getting those in rotation and all of that.
Yeah. I just threw Go Get It on internet radio actually the other day. So a couple of days ago, actually.
Cool. Well, let's go get it. Let's go get it. Now, I know the great work you've done and how you got into the business and how you get down and all of that, but our audience don't. So I want you to just lay a little bit of your background, like how did you get involved in hip hop, especially hip hop music?
Man, I would say I don't remember the exactly how old I was, but the first time I heard it, I think I've been into it ever since then. So around probably the age of 13, I started writing my own little rap songs and rapping basically. And I always got compliments on my voice. You know what I mean? People always told me I had a voice for it. So that kind of inspired me to keep doing it. So I do it, and I've always done it out of the love, you know, not necessarily the money, but out of the love.
Right. There's a big difference in doing this business out of the love versus the money. And what would you say that difference is, Quon, just based on your experience? What's the difference between doing anything out of love versus money?
Doing it for money.
Yeah.
If you're just doing it for money, then it's not genuine. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Something else could mess around, you know, could turn around and pull you from that if it's more money involved or something. I mean, I don't knock people, you know, being about no money, don't get me wrong. But
right.
At the same time, if it's not about the love of it, I don't really see a person being genuine when it comes to, you know what I mean? This type of love is genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need the love. You need the love to give you that foundation of what you're there for. Money will never, ever, ever provide that for us. You know, love is the key. Money is the lock. Hey, you got a red cup? Let's go. I knew we was family. Let me take a sip.
Oh, yeah. What, you got coffee in there?
No, nothing but H2O. I'm dealing with the water at this point. I didn't coffee myself out. So what were the circumstances? I know you got to remember the circumstances, Quon, that you were in that compelled you to take your experience from inside the nucleus of your heart onto paper. What was that thing that happened in your life that said, hey, I got so much going on in my head, I have to put this stuff on paper?
Well, when I started writing as a youngster, as a teenager, it wasn't so complex. Shit was simple. You know what I mean? It was more about uh like I said, I just knowing how to rap basically is what,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So the older I got and started experiencing stuff, that's when I started to take that and put that on paper. Cause that as a, young teen, I wasn't going through no major shit. You know what I mean? I didn't have no vilified. Everything wasn't peaches and cream, but I didn't have it as bad as a lot of people really have, and a lot of people claim to have. So
Right.
that's why even in my music, I just didn't really talk about a lot of downtrodden shit because everything hadn't always been that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I talk shit from a realistic standpoint, but not, everything is I'm suffering, and you know what I mean. That's
Right.
what I don't like about how the era that a lot of raps going. You got to have enemies and all. It ain't. I'm just trying to keep it realistic.
Right. Right. So the things that you put out there are realistic things that you're going through in
I've
your
either
life.
been through it. I've either been through it. I've seen somebody go through it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's got to be close. I can't talk about nothing I don't know nothing about. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's all I've ever really done.
Right. And see, that's why I wanted to talk to you about OG status, because I think that there is a misconception of what that really is. So, who was the OG that gave you the opportunity to take your music from that piece of paper out into the world? Because all of us have like that OG that said, hey, I'm gonna help you, because you need the OG on these streets in this game to help you navigate and miss a lot of those potholes along the way. So who was that OG for you?
That OG for me is my dude Robot. You
Mm-hmm.
know Robot, aka Roselli.
Yeah,
That's like
shout out to Robot.
that's big bro right there, man. And I got up under his wing when I was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of wisdom from him. You know what I mean? We connected even to this day. That's big bro. You know what I mean? To the
Right.
devil. I tell dudes all the time. I tell dudes all the time, even though your OG got an OG. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Your OG got an OG itself. So you know what I mean? And I'm gonna let you go on and ask what you was gonna ask though, but Robot,
Well, no, Robot, shout out to Robot, because he is truly an OG. He's helped a lot of people in
yeah,
terms
yeah.
of taking their words to the next standpoint. But what is your opinion in reference to, just like you said, an OG needs an OG? You've become an OG to someone, I'm sure, because that's the way this thing sort of moves. So what I want to know is that what exactly, in your opinion, is an OG? So our audience knows. Don't be saying you OG and you don't have some of these principles. So let's talk about that. What is an OG? What's your definition of it?
My definition of an OG is got to be somebody uh, that has a relation to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't have to be a gang member or ex-gang member. None of that. It ain't. It don't. That terminology, and then people use it so loosely today. You got a difference between an OG and just an old nigga. You know what I mean?
Right.
If he ain't, if he got any type of influence, but not only influence, but using it not so bad, like in a negative light necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, when I was coming up, the OGs, if you was a youngster in a spot you wasn't really belonging, they told you to get your little ass on. That's what OG did to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, you don't send the young niggas on crash dummy moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the same time, it's about respect. OG is a person of respect. They show respect, so they get it.
Right.
Uh, Sometimes you got to force your hand to put certain things down. You know what I mean? To let people be, to let it be known that you're a stand up person. Sometimes
Yes.
it may be getting violent. Sometimes, you know what I mean? But if you got respect, not from being a bully necessarily, but just from standing your own, that right there is worthy of respect. So a OG to me is really somebody of respect, somebody that may have a little influence, person, really. You know what I mean? And
Right,
you'd have been
right.
through it. So
So your
yeah,
definition of an OG has everything to do with someone that has experience and has earned respect and does what it is that they say they're going to do for you.
to me, it's a lot of times it's the people who've been through it and still here to talk about it.
Yeah. Now that's the
You know
real
what I
facts
mean?
right there.
If you still here, you've been through it and you still here to talk about it, you are OG. Not only that, you still can't, like I said, you got to have respect and, be a respectable person. Don't get me wrong, there's some older niggas out here getting called OG, and these niggas got bad reputations
Yeah.
on the low. You know what I mean? Niggas told on niggas, all kind of shit like that. So, and somewhere somebody calling them OG, but
That ain't an OG thing. So telling and snitching to the cops, that's not an OG requirement, is what you're saying. Like if it leak out that you've been talking to folks, 2-3 people then got locked up on your behalf, you're not an OG. You're a
nah.
snitch G. No, I'm just playing, but I'm just saying. What do you
Yeah,
call that?
you're not going, niggas ain't gonna call you no OG. Nah.
No. Because an OG is a whole different thing. Speaking about OG, I hear that on February 21st, there's going to be a hip hop documentary entitled Hip Hop Uncovered, and it's going to be on FX Networks. I'm saying that for you guys out there in the audience. On February 21st. And it's all about this thing that me and Quon are talking about, that OG. A lot of these people are behind the scenes. These ain't the people you see up there all in the video and all of that. These are people behind the scenes that put this thing together. And what I'm most excited about is that Big Deb, they got a woman OG in there. So it's Big U, it's Haitian Jack, and it's Deb, Waka Flocka Flames mom, and her brother Bimmy, Big Bim, that was at Def Jam. And then there's one other person. Oh, Trick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait to see that. But anyway, let's get back to the questions. What does OG stand for? Is it original gangster or is it original guide? Like I'm going to guide you through your life and help you do this thing called hip hop. What does OG actually stand for?
Well, originally, we all know the term really means, it started out as original gangster, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But, people change the meaning of shit all the time or whatever. I'm not to change the meaning of it, but I still used it, but not in the terminology, not in the gang terminology. I didn't, I didn't never do the gang bang thing like that.
Right.
But to me, you know what I mean? Like I said before, basically a stand-up individual. That's really what an OG is.
Mm-hmm.
Older, more than likely you're gonna be older. You gotta be older in order to be an OG. You're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't be just got up last night and gonna be telling me how to navigate myself through this game.
Right. Like I said, it's about experience, and you only get that with growing in age. So, but like I said, you done been through it and you done came back from it. But you still got to be a stand-up individual. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Just like you were saying, if you done snitched on somebody, then you're not no stand-up individual. So that's basically what it is to me. And I use my own shit, like general, shit like that. It don't necessarily, I don't use necessarily the term gangster. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We manipulate words so much in hip hop. We got 3 and 4 different meanings to a word. It's just like rappers in my backyard, the podcast that stays lit. I was talking to one of my coworkers and they thought that I was doing a show on smoking marijuana for an hour. So, it's just hilarious to me how we use words in our way and it makes sense to us and our culture. But when we let those words go out into the world, these people are looking this stuff up in the dictionary. You know, because you're using a word that should be found there. But again, we've had to manipulate so many things, Quan, in order to make it our own. And that is
Yeah,
definitely one of them, words. Because we take those negative words that are said about us in society and been generationally given to us, and we use those to empower ourselves to the next level, you know?
yeah,
So, OG, in my opinion, means exactly what you said: a person of honor, a person of respect, and a person that wants to help you move forward in a positive way, not a
hmm
negative.
right,
So,
right.
yeah. So, let's talk about your single, OG Status. How did it come together, and who did you work with on production and stuff?
Um, to be honest, I think I had wrote that verse. It was a track that a buddy of mine had did for me. His name is Jig Amir Perry. Actually, we always still call him Jig, but
Uh
Amir
huh.
Perry, dope producer, man. One of the dopest producers I've ever had the honor to work with,
Mm hmm.
and actually the number one producer I've ever worked with out of
Wow.
Thomasville, Georgia.
Mm
He out
hmm.
of Thomasville, Georgia. He on the West though out there in Phoenix. Shout out my nigga Jig.
Yeah,
But
good looking on the track on that because it felt OG.
yeah, yeah, it did. Now that track came later. I actually wrote that first verse to another track that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we was playing around with it though. I never did jump. I didn't jump on the track as far as you know, keeping it for myself. We just kind of played around with it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
later on, I asked him about that verse, and I said, "Hey, man, I kind of want to finish that song because it was
Mm-hmm.
months later." He said, "Bro, you didn't say nothing about it, so I ended up selling it." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I just had him to redo, send me some fresh, music, and he gave me an updated track, and I used that first verse that I wrote, which was shit a while back, and then when I
Wow.
and I liked how it sounded to the track. Wrote my second verse right there in the studio and knocked it out that night. And
Yeah.
came up with the hook and all that. Um,
So
I
that's
don't
a
know.
good
I
look,
think about it.
man.
Yeah, appreciate it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I see a lot of funny ass shit in the world, and it's like because I kind of mentioned that in the song.
Right.
Um, all this shit people doing for fame or for popularity, and that shit is trash, man. That shit is fake. Everything fake. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of spoke on that a little bit in the song or whatever, but I just keep shit real. You know what I mean?
Right. We need to get back to putting some reality to this stuff. Not the
Yeah,
remix. You know, we've been remixing it too much. And I
yeah,
wanted to talk a little bit about the video as you sashay your red cup forward. Can you take it back out of frame? Because I can't see your
yeah.
wonderful face.
My bad. I'm sorry
So
about that.
I see that you have the red cup. You had all the elements that I, in the backyard, utilize to for our podcast. I mean,
Right,
because the backyard was the place that we were able to get together. You found about family secrets, like your uncle was your dad, and we all had something to drink mixed with grape Kool-Aid in our red cups. That's the feel that I had gotten from your OG Status video. I was like, that's like in the backyard but on the street.
yeah.
So did you guys organically just get together? Was that something y'all were already doing and somebody flipped the camera? How did that whole theme come together for the video?
Um, I kind of just put that just the locations and stuff together myself, but it's
Mm-hmm.
actually just stuff that I do. The way I kick it on a regular, basically. You know what I mean? That
Right.
car wash we had in the video. That's like my one or two favorite car washes to go to. Is right here in the neighborhood. You see some of everybody because it's on the main street. You know what I mean, on the boulevard. And then the barbecue we was at, that was actually a homeboy of mine's my mother's house. His
Oh,
mama like a
okay.
mama to me. You know what I mean? We real tight. You know what I mean? And she does that on the often. She cooks and she feed people. She do this shit on the regular. So cats from the neighborhood, not any and everybody, but just people who related and
Mm-hmm.
and she cooked when she cooked for so many. But that day I went to the grocery store and I actually bought a gang of shit for her to cook because she
Uh-huh.
cooking one of the older guys there that he's in the video too. Matter of fact, over the grill. Oh, Billy. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
He, you know, he
I,
looked out on the grill. Mom's looked out on the food. I just paid for everything and had everybody come kick it.
right. And made it authentic. And it is that simplicity and that realness that you put into that video that sells the message. You know,
Yeah.
I can't see, it's like a lot of things in a lot of videos that come out that are unnecessary, that is for the look versus for adding to what the message is.
Right, right.
You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. A lot of cats make videos that ain't related, don't have nothing to do with the song. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I see shit
mean,
like that all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. Doing music, you always go back and look at shit and be like, I could have did this, I could have did
mhm.
that, I could have did this, even in song, you know. Uh, but shit is what it is, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I had other ideas for it, but I had paid my homeboy Rockadollar from Phoenix to fly out and shoot that video. You
Okay.
know what I mean? So we was also on the time limit. You know, shit worked out like it did. You know, it's cool though. It's all good.
Yeah. Shout out to Rock
Already.
Dollar out there. He's really cool too. I know you did a lot of work with him too. He's a
Yeah, yeah.
solid guy. So what I want to ask you, do you think that some of the up and coming young artists in hip hop can use an OG?
Definitely.
I know.
Definitely. Most of these dudes in this era don't have no OGs. I trip off of that shit. I'm like, these little
Yeah.
niggas ain't even got no older niggas. They don't respect nothing, you know what I mean, in a lot of
Hmm.
ways. So they don't when you really just stopped and look, you'll know that I'm like, man, these dudes ain't even got nobody over them like that. You know
Nope.
what I mean? They loose cannons, they all over the place, no direction, no dysfunctional shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had OG, and OG was a cat that kept shit in line.
Yeah. Because you need somebody to keep things in line. I think that we can benefit greatly from, and I know from an OG standpoint, a lot of you're making music that's meaningful, motivational, and all of those things, really thinking about what it is you want to say. And you have somebody else like an OG that helps you formulate that says, dude, that ain't cool, or you bringing this type of noise to the situation, and so on and so forth. I really do believe that we need more OGs to take some of the young artists under their wing and give them that guidance. And that's kind of what I'm trying to be with having someone like you on the show, and then next week having somebody that might be 17 or 18 years old. Because what I'm trying to do, Quon, is get that OG knowledge from you and others that's been in the game a long time, get that nugget of knowledge and be able to regurgitate it, chew it up and rub it down, and be able to give that knowledge to the young people without them really knowing it low key. Because it seems like they don't want you to teach them in the actual sense, but they want to learn. And we got to find a way, Quan, to be able to talk to them, or else what's going to happen to the culture of hip hop?
It's gonna eat itself alive.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's going on anyway. You know what I mean? These little come on, man. These dudes is dissing dead people today.
Yeah.
They disrespecting dead folks, going to dead the scene where niggas done got killed that standing out. Man, this shit ridiculous. This shit is going. That's the only thing the biggest thing I fear, that this shit is gonna play itself out. They're gonna let rap uh pretty much, like I said, eat itself out. It's gonna like destroy itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way this shit is going now. I'm like, what else? What's next?
Yeah.
They smoking on dead niggas. They standing on niggas tombstones. What's next?
Yeah, the
What's
disrespect
next?
is real, dude. The disrespect is real. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have a discussion with you, for us to brainstorm on how we can figure out a way to save the culture, because everybody still wants to rap. The difference between this is just in my opinion, then and now, is they're missing that guidance that we had. Like you said, you had Robot, who was your OG. I had Greedy Greg, who was my OG. And it's like, you need the OG. So young people, this is a message to you. If you want to be in this game for real and you want to have some longevity, you gotta get you a real OG, somebody that you can trust to give you that information and that guidance that you need, not only to be a better artist from a creative standpoint, but to be a smarter artist. Mm-hmm. Would you agree or disagree with that, Quon?
Yeah, I would agree with that for the most part. They still got to be somebody that they respect, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can try to grab these little niggas, but if they ain't got no respect for you, you know what I mean? It's kind of, and that's why I understand why a lot of cats that are OGs or should be OGs to younger dudes ain't fucking with them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I understand that.
I do too. I've had a lot of them on the show, and they're just like, because low key, I'm trying to like form a little coalition, because I do have some young artists that been on the show that really want to learn how to do this thing. And they're like in places where hip hop, they're not in a major city like Los Angeles or New York. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to brainstorm like, okay, well, if those 4 young people that been pulling at me for different help and stuff like that, if I can get some of the OGs, like I talked to the Chill from Compton's Most Wanted, he's down, I know Gangster Drayster, and he's down. Like, you got some OGs that understand that the game is different, and they understand there's a new way that they got to talk to some of these people. So would that be something you would be willing to do for the squad, or you want to think about it a little bit?
Yeah, I have to think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
I don't have a problem with that. With that though. I mean, that's a good idea. Don't get me wrong.
But I'm saying from the standpoint, Quon, I'm not going to waste your time. Meaning, like, the artist that I ask you to mentor on the strength of me is going to be ready to meet you. I'm not going to bring you nothing where you got to sit up there and take the batteries out their back and all of that stuff. Wow. We're talking about setting up a situation where by the time I get them to you guys as far as the mentor end of it, they'll be ready to go. I ain't sending you nonsense. I'm just sending you clay that needs to be molded. You know what I'm saying? And we got to care.
I'm with that.
You with that?
Put me down.
All right, because I was going to ask you after the show, but since we flowing on that and it's just current and it's on my heart so desperately, now I got 3. All right. So I think that we took care of the OG status, and I am ready to go to the grill. Let's go to the grill. We ready to season some stuff up today. Me and Quon is in the house. So I put on the grill today, favors. Why are we fresh out of favors? Why are we all out of favors, Quon? I want to talk to you heart to heart, man, because not only do I want to throw favors on the grill, but again, you got another song. You did it a long time ago. It was a year ago or so. 2 years?
Yeah. No. Yeah, it was last January I dropped it.
Okay, so the first line, I was checking out the lyrics and everything. I said, you know what? That'd be the perfect thing to throw on the grill, favors. Why are we tired of giving favors to people?
Shit, probably because they go unappreciated,
Unappreciated.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are unappreciative, so that's probably why I know when I get to, man,
Well, what was you feeling, Quan, when you wrote that song Favors, dude? Because you came across like you didn't have not another single solitary favor to give to anybody. So I need you to bleed right now and tell me what that song was about and why are you tired of giving out favors, dude? I mean, you owe me favors. Does that mean I can't get it?
Well, my dude, Jig, my producer, homeboy,
Uh-huh.
I was telling you about earlier, he done like 90% of my, 85 at least percent of my music, over the
Okay.
years. Um, Dude is a real talented cat, man. He came with that chorus actually.
Mm-hmm.
That song for him singing on, excuse me, this Crown Apple trying to go down. I'm sorry about
Oh,
that.
crown apple. You mix it with anything?
No, on the rocks.
Wow, it's a
Yeah.
rocky Saturday.
I'm
It's a
working up
rocky
my appetite.
Sunday.
I'm gonna go get something to eat in a minute, so I'm working up my appetite. Lana, give me a drink when I get there. But,
I love
but
that.
Jid came with the chorus, man. I can't remember if because what he'll do sometimes is he'll play around and add a chorus to one of his tracks, like if he's selling a track or whatever. So I don't remember if he came with that before I got the track, or it was just the beat.
I don't,
But
you
I
know
think he
what?
had
I
the
don't
chorus.
care when he delivered
I
it.
wrote, but I made I wrote the song to form around. I think it was the chorus was written first. That's usually how we work anyway. Try to get the chorus out the way
Right.
first. So I believe the chorus was already there, and I just kind of wrote around it and just talked about how like I say, man, if I did something for you, it was a blessing. And some people would take that shit like they done finessed you. I done had people do that.
Yeah.
My friend come to your ass to borrow money for a bill, and you think you really helping them with a bill. And this motherfucker done went to the club and bought a couple bottles.
Like, that's
But,
nonsense.
I did you a favor, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or, I done loan people money, and motherfuckers got an attitude when it comes time to give it back, but it wasn't the same attitude they had when they came and asked for the favor. So, and my thing is, you ever get hit with so many favors like back to back to back? That shit right there. And it was one point in time around that time that we came with this. Me and my
Mm-hmm.
dude, I was dealing with that. I said, boy, I wish I'd have never got this cash app shit. My relatives, motherfuckers can't stay. You know what I mean? Not friend request, money requests left and right. I'm like, shit, loans and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
But
and
at
you
some
can't
point,
even lie no more. You know, Quad, remember how we used to be able to lie back in the day? Like, the bank is closed. Now
yeah,
you can cash app. There's
yeah,
so many instant ways to do
Zelle and all that other
everything.
shit.
Would you say?
That Zelle shit and all that. Yeah, I had to download that recently. But somebody
Really?
owed me money and told me to do that because they didn't have Cash App. I'm like, look at all this shit. What is this technology shit is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get back to the main reason what a favor is. I mean, favor is something, when you do somebody a favor, you're doing something for them free. You're not charging them. You're using your time, your intelligence, and everything in order to do that favor. Your money, whatever it is. So, based on what you said, your first thing is, why are we out of favors? Is because we don't trust. People tell us that you're going to get that back to me on the 15th, and then I can't find you. So, trust is why we're all out of favors. Would you say that's our first reason? Number one?
Yeah, part of it. Because when you really look at it, a favor is basically help
Yeah.
for the most part. Now, it could be very little, some real a tiny ass favor, like when you close that door for me type shit, that ain't nothing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's still help. If you ask somebody to, it's still a form of help.
Right. And help is
So
help.
yeah, help is help. So somebody help you when you need it, they did you a favor.
Right.
Anytime you need help and somebody applies it, then that's a favor.
Right.
Now, not only that, it's also uh,
Go
a
ahead and
favor
say
might
it.
also be something without no return, like you're not expecting nothing in return. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
because it's free. You know what I mean? You willingly do something with the expectation not to get it back, but you would hope that you are building up a relationship with this person that if due later on down the line you have some issues, you feel like they should help you out too.
mhm.
And
Well,
see,
yeah,
that's the
like
part.
for a favor,
Right.
but depends on too. Now, some people may need a favor for a moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And bless you back on the favor that you did for them. So it's like if I say, "Hey, Lisa, give me do me a favor and loan me $20, right? I'm gonna run to the store, but I'm gonna go on and get I'm gonna go to the ATM while I'm out, and then I bring you the 20 back."
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not doing you a favor by bringing you back the money that you did. You did do me the favor though. You know what I
Right.
mean? By loaning it to me in the first place.
Right.
So yeah.
So that trust got to be solid as far as a favor's concerned, because
Mm,
you can blow that trust immediately from not being
right.
genuine from a favor that was given to you.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it also depends on who it is, because you have some people who always need a favor. Not different motherfuckers, but the same motherfucker. That's the shit that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit right there, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? We got to get that. We got to get back to filling up our favor bank,
Hmm.
because I know my grandparents and my mother and father and stuff like that, they really worked with each other to get everybody up to speed about the favor. This is a favor, and this right here I need back at this particular time. You got to
Hmm.
make it specific, because everybody seems to be judging you, by what you wear, what you drive, and all of that, and just take into account, oh, Quan don't need his money back. This
Yeah.
is nothing
Yeah.
for him.
Hmm.
So we got to get back to the compassion of doing favors, because there
Right.
got to be love in it. It got to be not necessarily looking to be returned in 5 minutes. It has to be something that we get back to that same philosophy that our grandmothers and grandfathers had. I'm going to do a favor.
And then you gotta, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, cool. What did you
You gotta
say?
genuinely do it too. Some people will do favor for you just to tell everybody they did a favor for you.
Yeah,
So don't do shit for people just to be bragging about it, throw it in their face. Either I don't believe in that. At the same time, some motherfuckers need to be reminded. I don't care what nobody say. I have people, uh, I've had people do that to me, family members and all, where
yeah,
uh, they've said something out of place, and I've had to remind them. Wait a minute. Oh, that's why you did it, just to. No, but motherfucker, you need to be reminded. Don't you know what I mean?
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's bullshit. I don't do shit to tell or brag about it or to throw it in a person's face. But don't ever get beside yourself, because by doing so, to me, you've forgotten. So I need to remind you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like that too, though. Don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of favors, so I can't act like I haven't had a lot of favors done for me.
Yeah,
And I know people done it because of the type of person I am. You know what I mean?
right.
Same energy you put out, that shit come back.
There it
So
is. There it is. So as far as favors, you guys, we can't run out of them. We need to hold tight to the first thing is trust. If you're going to do somebody a favor, trust that they're going to return that favor. And then if you're going to do a favor for somebody, do it with compassion and love. Do it from your heart, not because you think, later on down the road, I'm going to try to get this and that from them, because you plotting and you planning, and that's not a favor. All right. And then lastly, you need to get your expectation together, because if you're doing anything with the expectation that you're going to get something else in return, guess what? Keep hoping and praying, because it just doesn't work that way. Knowledge is the best favor to pass along, honestly. And we
right.
can't do that until we trust each other.
Hmm.
So we got to get back to the trust. But on the other hand, giving and doing favors for each other has such great benefits. I mean, when I do somebody a favor, don't you feel good?
Oh yeah.
Don't it make it feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to feel good again. And also, you feel like you are helping somebody out when they really need it to, with a favor. There's something about that,
Mm-hmm.
as a benefit. And
We've
then,
all we've
what'd you
all needed
say?
somebody to do us a favor. I
Yeah.
said we've all needed somebody to do us a favor. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why I want to talk about the benefits of it too, since you and I didn't had a chance to beat them over the head. Like, don't come ask me no favor if I can't trust you. So that's why I wanted to lay it down, Quan, so they know. Get your trust together, get your passion together, and get your expectation together. Then I can do you a favor. Because
Already.
I want to bask in these benefits. And when you do somebody a favor, like I said, there's just something so good about your spirit. You feel that you've done your due diligence. You reached outside the box to help somebody. And we need all the favors we can get right now. So let's be loving and giving to each other. And I'm looking to fill my favorite box up again so that I can start doing more favors too. What about you, Quan?
Oh yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of it's naturally in most of us to be good anyway. You know what I mean? That's why
Yeah.
you don't remember all the good shit you done, but you remember everything you did. Was fucked up or wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always remember that. I have people all the time that come and remind me of something I did for them, and I'll be like, for real? Yeah, I don't remember that. And they like, yeah, man, you looked out, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that feel good when you get reminded of the good you've done, because I don't always remember the good shit. I remember the shit I done while I was probably wrong, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all do. Yeah, you can think of that shit, but you won't always remember the good you've done.
Right.
So
And that's why you need to plant seeds in other people so they can remind you of how great
mhm.
you are.
And that's
And
also
with
what makes an OG.
yeah, that's an OG, right? And I
Yeah.
think, Quan, we really added that nice seasoning of flavor. So let's take it off the grill. We burnt that up. And let's get back to these questions, man, because I want to talk to you about how important it is for our culture to recognize and respect their work ethic. How do you do that now with seeing all of the things that are popular that isn't so revealing and so realistic? It's more on the swag materialistic. I got this, I got that thing. So how can we
A lot of
turn the
this shit is,
corner?
man, this, to be honest, this shit might be at a point of no return, man. You have a lot of, you said work ethic.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of these big time artists really working? Some of these cats got people writing for them. These niggas don't put no pen to no pad. A
Yeah.
lot of them do. So when you talk work ethic, everybody ain't got no work ethic. Everybody don't have that. A lot of these, and they balling. A lot of them is big time artists. They
Yeah.
niggas ain't no real work ethic though. These niggas write down. I mean, rap what was written down for them and say what they was written down for them in interviews. All this bunch of fake shit. The
Yeah.
problem with it is it's so influential. So there's so many motherfuckers being influenced by the fake shit that
Hmm.
you know us realistic people. We gotta deal with these fake motherfuckers all around us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
But it always comes back to what feels good to you and your spirit at the end of the day. Because the things that bring me the most happiness are things that I didn't pay for. It was
Mm-hmm.
things that I didn't settle for. Those were the things I stuck my neck out. I was scared of what the repercussion may be. But
Mm-hmm.
when it came back to me, and it came back to me in a way where I respect your decision. We have to respect the decisions that we make, especially in this business, because I was trying to tell my niece, who is an artist, she's up and coming artist, and I was saying to her, in this business is the type of business where whatever your weakness may be, like say for instance, in this coffee cup there was nothing but vodka, right? Once they find out, and I still play in my cup, but once they find out I like vodka, right, then it seems like the industry tries to give you whatever that crutch is that you have, to the point that you don't know who you are because you're relying on that crutch, and then they get to talk in your ear and operate and tell you what decisions to make. That's what I think that a lot of what is going on now. Because if they sat down and really seen the way this game, the way you manifest yourself to greatness, I'm not talking about 15 minutes of fame. I'm talking about the Ice-T's and the Mysticals and the Gangster Dracers. Those guys had to experience different things, failure, circumstances, all those things, turn their lives around, leave whatever situation they were in, if they were in a gang or jail or whatever it was, and change their lives around. But our young artists aren't getting any of that. They seem more lost, or maybe they don't know a lot about that work ethic that's required, because maybe we just gave them too much. What would you say?
Now, when you say work ethic, we talking about the music.
Yeah, we're talking about the music business, work ethic as it refers to how you get down, writing your lyrics, performing, looking the part, making sure you're reaching out to people, trying to make a change. I mean, you got into hip hop to motivate somebody, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't. When I look at a lot of these new little dudes, I don't really see nothing. Now, it's been a minute since I've been to a show, but
you've been on the gram. You seen them banging on the gram.
Yeah, but everybody, it's the same shit. Ain't nobody, like, even when I used to go to shows, man, I remember seeing Ice Cube, and I remember seeing DMX
right
put on like one of the rawest performances. This was like years ago, and man, that dude was up there by himself, not one hype man. This was after he had first. Man, what the hell was the name of that? It was like what tour was that? This was like 2000.
What was the artist?
DMX.
Oh, you talking about with that whole Rough Riders thing with Eve and yeah.
Was it the Hard Knock Life? No, it wasn't the Hard Knock Life.
No, it was Rough Riders, baby. They had their own thing. They was rolling Rough Riders. They were that big.
No, not that one. It was Jay-Z, DMX, Method and Red.
Oh, okay.
I think it was. I don't want to say it was the Hard Knock Life. It was something else. I can't think of the name of it, the tour, but I saw DMX perform, and he was the only cat out of that whole, show that performed by himself. I'm talking about nobody on stage with him. And when I saw that, I was like, damn, dude, he put in that work by his, like, he didn't need extra niggas up there to, keep the attention, not solely keep the attention on him, but take a little bit off him. He had to hold it because he was the only motherfucker up there with a mic.
Yeah.
And I mean, he performed his whole show like that. And I hadn't seen no major artists do that. I hadn't really seen, I've seen local niggas in the club do that. Hell, I done that. But
right.
I hadn't seen, on a major platform like that. That dude was up there by himself. And it was thousands of people, you know what I mean? Yeah, that shit was live.
And he still get down like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he knows.
I don't know. I saw, I got to chill with DJ Quick a few times back in the day.
Who?
He would always, DJ Quick.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, first time I even met him was at Greedy's back in the day. I met that dude 3-4 times, and every time he seen me, he would forget who I was, and I'd have to mention Robot Man. Oh, yeah, okay, you Robot people. Yeah. But I remember going to, I believe it was his sister's house, and that dude had so much equipment, man, in this one room, man, and he took us back there. It was me, Robot, and the homie Player Ham. I'm a young nigga. I'm the youngest nigga out of everybody, and I'm, but I'm spectating. I'm just watching it. Quick was in there working, man. He was showing the shit that he was working on, playing a lot of stuff for us, man. That kind of inspired me too,
Yeah.
This was back in the day, and So I get what you're saying. I don't know how these cats. It's like I don't know if that's really what's getting them is the work ethic. I know it's easy right now. You know, the music game to change, so niggas got video. You couldn't just drop videos like that back in the day.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
that videos supposed to make the whole nine. Now niggas is shooting videos for $300-$400. You know,
yeah.
niggas is dropping videos every week. That's
Yeah,
how the
everything is watered down. How do you think social media has helped to progress music as far as like a lot of the independent artists out there? Do you think it helps them progress it, or do you think it digresses it in terms of the quality of what we're getting? Because social media is quick. It's now, it's like, hurry up, look over here type of a thing. So what do you think, Quon, we are losing as far as the quality of a video, like you did an OG status video, versus you trying to promote it in the same way without doing a video? You do a little short and you throw it on social media.
I think the visuals is what everybody's into now. So without actual visuals, people are less likely to click on it just to hear it. You know what I mean? They want to see something.
Right.
Social media, in one aspect, I think is cool, just as far as because you have people who I've done it myself where I clicked on links that people either messaged me or it was on somebody else's page, and I will, so I think it helps in that aspect. The part that I don't like is that you have to, it's not even just about your music no more. It's about how popular your motherfucking ass can get. So as long as you get popular, you can be a trash ass rapper. But if you got popularity, and that's all you really do. You niggas get popular from doing stupid shit. Just, ain't no telling. Just whatever. Niggas is doing whatever to get popularity, to get likes and attention. So if you doing some shit like that, but to me, that shouldn't play a role as far as your, you know what I mean?
Right,
so
your
when
work
you get popular,
ethic.
Niggas want to listen to you now because of your popularity. You got popular for some reason, virally or whatever. But outside of that, people ain't fucking with your music unless you get, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So
unless it goes to that next stage, like a Megan the Stallion or something like that, once it leaves social media and takes off onto the world, And so speaking about work ethic, I want to talk about Go Get It, because I just been playing that in the morning so that I could knock out like 20 sit-ups or something. I'm starting back on my routine, and I just love the whole thing because we gotta go get it. Ain't nobody handing out these tickets to this show that we want to be a part of. So let's talk about how that song came together. And did you work with your boy on production on that too? And where are you at with the record as far as like getting it out there in the atmosphere?
I'm pushing the video on YouTube right now, Spotify. I just launched it on several internet radio stations this past week. So I'll probably be getting my first report sometime this coming week. See what it's doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
From there, I plan on taking it to probably satellite radio, if not FM, but I'd probably rather do satellite, know. I'm just trying to get it out there as tough as I can. I got it on as many platforms that I can think of, really.
Right.
People like the song. That just came. I mean, all I had was the track. Actually, I had the track first. I flew to Phoenix, which is where I record the majority, hell, all of my music, really.
Right.
So I already had the track a couple of weeks before I went to get in the studio, and I just vibed to it. I could not, I played with it in my head, but I didn't come with it. I like to get in the studio.
Right.
So somehow, I don't know. I just it came to me and it came fast, and I was impressed because I hadn't did a song that fast in years. Yeah.
But it's one of those songs is so timely, because if we don't go and get it right now, where we gonna get it? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just real on the field. So, you know what, Quon, how can we be down with your movement? I know that you're working on Go Get It right now and getting it out or whatever, but let the audience know your Instagram, if you got a website or anything like that, and let them know.
Yeah. You can check me out on Instagram at the Quon Music. My Twitter is at Mr. Quon, or Quon on Facebook, Quon. Make sure y'all get that right, not Quan. I get a lot of people to mistake it, but Quon. I don't really do too much other social media. I'm on Snapchat, but I don't really fuck with Snapchat like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember my Snapchat name on that.
Well, are you TikToking right now?
Nah, man. I'm too deep for that shit, man. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. You got to do all this shit really to,
I know.
Like, come on. Y'all want good music, or y'all want a nigga to be a character. Y'all, I'm not with all that.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I feel you. I would just wonder right now, the reason why I was laughing, Quon, because I was thinking about like how we would do a TikTok to OG status. You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't even thought about it.
Oh, man, we'll rap about it after we get done. But let's get back to the quote, because you know what, Quon, it set us up nicely for our conversation today, and for our audience to know where we was going and how quickly we needed to get there. So let's get back to the quote, because it's true for you and it's true for me. I have learned more in these streets than in any classroom. Already then. You know what I'm saying? It's the streets, baby. And that's why we need some OGs to help guide this young generation to more motivation, better work ethic, respect, dignity, love, compassion, and all those things that right now, with everything that we got going on, nobody feels that they can truly stay at one base for no time. So they just running bases and they ain't scoring at all. So we got to get back to going to first base, feeling first base, seeing what that feels like, and then you got your OG on first base, just like the ref, that'll tell you when you can run to second base, and then you got your boy, the OG, meet you at the third base to tell you to run for the home run. So we need the OGs back in the game. And with that, Quon, we gotta wrap this thing up. So to you guys out there in the audience, thank you so much for tuning in to Rappers in My Backyard. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you hit that bell. Because that's the only way you're going to know how we get down every Sunday. And thanks so much to our special guest, Quon, for sharing his gift with us, telling us how OG get down, be down. We love you, Quon. And I'm looking forward to talk, express, relate, connect with all of you next week. We on Go over here. And I'm Lisa O, and that just happens to rhyme. We love you guys.
Much love.